Play from memory?
You don't mind if I film and take pictures, do you?
No, of course not. No. Go ahead and start. Because I want to use up the time best for me.
I didn't know where you wanted to sit.
Adventure today. I think I threw a pencil in here.
I have a pencil if you want.
Yeah, did you have one?
No.
Here, I got one.
I have a pencil.
Here you go.
Oh, thanks,
Fancy one or
Nancy.
the generic one? Your choice.
All right. Nice deep breath. Let's have the serenade.
Oh, sorry. Here's coffee is
Very good. We're going to talk about a couple of details here, but why don't we keep the music going? But can we hear the other piece too? The ballad one's good. Wow. Wow, excellent, Eric. Very, very well played. You have a good sense of these pieces, and the magic elixir. Magic elixir. The dark liquid makes everything possible. So, Eric, I want to make a couple of small general comments, and one is to be very careful. First of all, just for pure accuracy, be very careful about your counting, because in both pieces, just from time to time, you skip something. Like here, you skipped a bar. You sort of forgot that's 2 bars, not just 1 bar. I think that was the only spot here. In the first piece, in the Serenade for the Doll, was a couple of places. Maybe a little missing rest or something. I think this was, I wrote down the G sharp here, but I think that was just a finger slip on your part. So we want to talk mostly, the small details that I think that you can improve in both these pieces mostly have to do with the character of forte and, F for forte, and the dynamics in general, also the character of a sforzando, when something is very suddenly loud. So dynamics are kind of the way the composer's way of describing their speech, really, is how are they talking to you? How do they describe the sound of their music? And a piano from Mozart is different than a piano from Beethoven, is different than a piano from Debussy or Rachmaninoff, and so forth. And so, for example, in the Serenade for the Doll, obviously, these are the pieces that Debussy wrote either for or thinking about his young daughter, who was adorable, and he loved her very much, of course. So this is sort of a little love song for her little doll, So the overall mood is very tender, He says léger et gracieux, which in French is light and graceful, or gracious even, So it's very charming. So you want to be careful here when you have these fortes here, that yes, okay, he wants the forte to be louder than the piano, but there's a kind of a context there, so it means it's louder, but it's not a kind of Beethoven heaven-storming, symphonic forte or anything like that. So I think you have to be careful not to get the habit of, you see a forte, it just means, oh, you suddenly play very, very loud. Well, it means some kind of emphasis, but it depends on the situation. I'm going to try this piano here.
Hope you like it.
Yeah, it's like candy in front of my eyes there, You need someone. So I want a kind of a foundational kind of sound. I don't want that sudden shock, I don't think that's really the idea that Debussy has in mind. So I'm just going to write here a gentle forte there. So that has to do with the physical action. If you strike the key very quickly, you're going to get a much sharper kind of sound. But if you sort of just land in the key, it's almost like those planes coming in for the landing in the landing strip, right? Hopefully they don't go straight down. They're supposed to glide. Try to copy that motion that I was making here. I want you to start at the beginning of the Serenade once again. I think this is just, this is her little doll and doing this little dance, and every once in a while there's kind of a nice little stronger foundation note. Right? Take it from the beginning. tell them to do. I'm so shocked. I'm very upset there. That was supposed to be a joke. You're supposed to laugh, you know. The most fun I've had since getting on Amtrak this morning. Okay, this was all very, very good. Now here we have an interesting situation, and WC will give this kind of problem to you sometimes. How many lines of music are going on in this, starting in this passage here? You understand what I mean by the lines of music? How many instruments might be playing, for example? Right, but how many things are going on there? There's, in other words, there's a bass note here, right? That's one. And the melody's here, right? And then this is the accompaniment thing, right? All right, good. Can you play for me just the melody? I just want you to play. Yeah, let's do it again. But don't be afraid to give it some nice character. So it's crescendo. Sound a little bit better. So the melody is the strong part. This is what makes it difficult. The right hand is not the melody, right? But we very often play things where the right hand is really, really loud. But in this one, that I really want to make is, you see the pianissimo here. It doesn't apply to every voice, right? So the piano espressif, that's the melody. The melody is expressive. Everything else is much, much softer, you know? Can you play for me, James, before we go on? Eric. Before we go on, can you play the foundation note and the accompaniment? These two voices for me, nice and quiet. Suggest you try to work on a little bit with your teacher sometimes, because it helps to look at music so it's not just, you know, sort of piano music where we have right hand, left hand, but here Debussy's clearly, he's written kind of a little orchestra thing. There's 3 lines, and being able to hear each of the 3 lines independently and then together is a big part of making that sound just right. All right, play the passage again now, as you played it before, but let's hear that melody strong. The melody has to be stronger, and then the accompaniment figures softer. That's much better. Keep playing. Short here, and I think you can practice making your staccatos a little. You see the motion I'm making with my hands to make a very short staccato. Pull the hands this way, a little bit from the wrist. these chords, these two chords. Good, very good. The other thing that happens there when I do that, Eric, is that there's also a little bit of pull right at the tip of the finger as well. Looks like touching the stove. It's kind of hot. Try that sound now. Very good. Very good. You have good ears and you copy very, very quickly. It's really impressive. Good. All right, those things are the important points here, I think. Let's try from here to the end. I want to make sure about your counting here. Not too loud. Easy does it. Softer, softer, softer. Yeah, you're leading out a bar. Okay, you're leading out a bar or a beat, I think. Let's take it from here again. 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3. Softer, softer. 1, 2, 3. Good, very, very good. Here, you have to be very careful to really measure that diminuendo down. You did it very, very well that time. All right, let's talk about Gallagher's Cakewalk. Now, this is a kind of a tough piece to play, in the sense that it's important to know kind of what is the style of that piece. It has a kind of air of early American ragtime, but of course it's not an American piece of music. But a cakewalk is an African American dance, and what Debussy is really referencing here is something that was very popular in France in the late 19th century and early 20th century, and is, it was called minstrel entertainment. So in this particular case, this cakewalk that the entertainers would dance, has this kind of ragtime feel, and it's full of jokes. And they're not only dancing on the stage, these entertainers, but they're also playing instruments like banjos, which was very exotic for the French. French didn't ever see banjos, they still don't know what a banjo is over there. But they have banjos, very sharp string instruments. And then also there's juggling going on. These guys are doing juggling and they're playing, so they're sort of clowns, right? They have makeup on their faces and they're doing clown things. So the exaggeration of clown things is very important here, and the feeling of juggling even. Debussy, I wrote this here, the Prelude Minstrel. You should listen to that piece as well, because it's very similar. He loved this kind of entertainment. So it has these kind of jokes to it. And the very big inside joke here. Do you know what this is a quote from?
No.
Okay, so he's quoting a very famous melody by Richard Wagner, the great German composer, who was sort of the polar opposite of Debussy. So that's from an opera called Tristan und Isolde. So I'll let your teacher tell you all about that one day. Let me try the piano here a little bit. So here you do want, because this is an exaggerated illustration of, it's kind of thing he would have taken his little daughter to go and see, right? They would have had fun, like going to the circus. Do people go to the circus anymore? Have you ever been to the circus?
Yeah.
You have? It's so un-PC anymore. Like, when I was a kid, we went to the circus every year, But now they say, ethical treatment of animals and stuff like that. So you've been to the circus. You've seen lions and tigers and elephants and... No. Oh, you haven't. Oh, you haven't been to the circus. Or you've been to something they call the circus.
I don't think they got animals anymore. It's
Just
human.
dogs.
It's human.
So sad. The world is... I was beefing to James in the car about the state of the United States of America. It was one of the things I enjoyed the very most when I was a kid. My dad loved the circus. We had peanuts. We watched the elephants and the clowns and the jugglers and tigers and lions. Anyway. There you really can lay into the piano. Give us a nice loud sfortissimo, right? So he wants that very loud. And then the contrast is very marked, right? So we have this pause, and you want to count that very, very well, or even make a little fermata out of it. So you notice that what Debussy has written here, the contrast between the piano and the forte. So the piano, I'm very close to the keys. With the forte, I can really attack it. So those are a little bit different. And this is one of those places where, the guy's juggling or whatever, and he does one of those phony tricks, you know. I saw clowns do it all the time. They're doing this, and then they put one foot behind the other, and they go, oops, like that. Like it's supposed to be a comic thing, like they're going to spill everything in their hands. Tricky piece. So this kind of pratfall. Wait. Now, volume equals time in music. So this gets much louder in a hurry. It says molto crescendo. So to make the molto, sorry, that's you see how many times he writes this kind of subito crescendo and then a change, and you can't do those things really so much in time. It's a kind of a rubato where you're taking time and then like putting it back. Let's try once again. I think maybe I'm going to play this as a little duet with you a little bit, just to try to get you to feel the timing as I'm feeling. All right? Yeah, have a sit. You'll play. No, not a real duet. I'll just. No. Make yourself comfortable. Okay, take it away from the beginning. Wait and. Okay, watch your counting here. Yeah, you skipped something there before. Watch the music here once again. Right, watch my right hand for the timing there, okay? One more time. Less quickly there, okay? All right, from here. That's too slow. It's very, very good. It's hard to describe exactly what Debussy's doing here. Can I have to thing? So he quotes this Wagner opera, which is all about these two star-crossed lovers, and it's as dense and serious as music can get. And then the clowns just totally make fun of it like that. Well, who cares about that? Right, so he says, "Céder avec une grande émotion," slowing down with a great emotion. So if you really want to get them going, 3 minutes, Make sure you make a nice heaven-strung face when you do that, like Lang does. Like, what's the most serious thing in your life, you would say, right? School, unfortunately. I'm sorry to hear that, yeah. Which class causes you the most pain? English. Fair enough. I had one English teacher caused me a lot of pain as well. Think about him or her right there. English class, like, seriously, what's, yelling at you for not doing your homework. Try that once. Let's see if you can. I'm teaching him so many bad things. I'm smoking in 10 minutes. That's the idea. Keep going. Good. That's terrific. Eric, one last thing before we run out of time. I wanted to go over this place, the recap. He says, toujours retenu. Debussy can be very, very specific in his markings. So you have to look at everything he writes, take it very, very seriously. So that means the retard goes all the way through there. And even though this is technically the recap here, and you're kind of expecting to go in tempo there, but it doesn't happen. What we call the railroad traction, which means wait. Okay, take it from where he starts with the retenue there. Okay. Yeah, it's a D flat, C flat, and then G flat there. That's it. Softer. 2, 1. Wait. And. Right. So that's also kind of a theatrical thing here. The very, very ending of it. 2, 1. Don't be afraid to really, really attack the piano when you really want to, right? So I would say here I use the thumb, both hands. You can use the thumb there as well. Like that. Okay, you can go work on that with your teacher. Eric, you did a great job with this piece. I'm very impressed, and also, I tell you things to do like that,
I wish you did that with me.
I have doctoral students that don't do what he's doing. Bravo. Not you.
I know, I was about to, oh yeah, that might be me.
No, it's not you.
It's okay with everyone. I'm gonna crack a window open.
Oh, sure.
It's a little toasty in here. If it gets cold, just feel free to close
You're
it.
welcome there. Wow, get this off to a great start. I've already forgotten about Amtrak. So are we gonna have Bach? Okay. All right. Let me swap seats with you, Eric. I want to sit here.
No.
Oh,
He's like, I'll take the lesson. Go ahead, play.
All that you have after the rest of my music I brought from home, and I brought one copy of this Bach myself. I'm curious how. Oh, you're playing Bach from memory. And you are, sorry, what's your name? Viola. Viola, how old are you? Viola? 9. Awfully old to be playing Bach. Let's hear. I brought this edition that I like. This is edited by a gentleman named Buechner, and I like his school of Bach thinking. And one reason I like this Buechner edition is he puts lots of stuff into it, lots of fingerings and dynamics and all kinds of other things. But I see that your edition also has some good suggestions for that too, which is I think really helpful. This is the first Bach piece you played, probably, right? Is that right? The second? Oh, you played some Bach already too. Okay. All right. So one thing that I think both of these editions would very much agree on would be in sometimes it could be more legato. And that legato, whether you're using your fingers to make the legato or you're going to use some of the pedal to help you make the legato, whatever. The main thing here is look at the very, very beginning of your piece. Yes. Technique, which is called overlapping or overlaying the fingers. Watch my left hand while I play that. Now I know normally we play the piano, we lift every finger as we go along. But if I want to make that really sound like it's a string instrument, very smooth kind of sound, if I play the F sharp, I'm going to hold on to that one just a little longer. So for a little bit, that little split second I hear two notes at the same time, sort of like binding the notes together. Can you use your left hand and play me that E major scale that I just did, and show me if you're able to do a little bit of that for me? That's right. Good. Very good. Good. Very good. Good. Oh, that's very, very good, Viola. Excellent. All right, let's try the right hand. And can you play what's written here? Play the score, what you see, and try to do that with your right hand as well now this time. A little trickier here. That's right. Because you have to move that fifth finger, I think. Right? Oh, yes. Okay, that's a good finger. That's good. Very, very good. You want to try the two hands together now with that sort of technique going? So here, I think it's a good idea what you just did. You played this note with a little dot, this one with a knot with a little dot, and then da-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. So that kind of playing is called, of course, legato. You know that word?
Yeah.
Okay. And then here we have more of a, what's that called?
Staccato.
Staccato, that's right. So that's the opposite. So smooth or detached. All right, so I think it's a very, very good idea. It gives the piece a little bit more variety, and then also I think it'll help you make this crescendo a little bit more convincingly if you're doing that finger overlapping there. Okay, so then we have this part, da-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. And then here again, in the opposite direction, I think we also want to do that very legato playing. Can you play it for me here, a little bit slowly if you like, with that overlapping finger thing that you're now rapidly becoming an expert at. Very good. Let's do it with the left hand as well. Both hands can do that. That's excellent. Well, how would you like to play the piece again? And this time play in sort of attention to that, to whenever you have the legato for us. Would you like to do that? Like you have a choice. Okay. All right, you want to do it a little bit slowly? A little bit under tempo? Okay, that's a good idea, so you can kind of concentrate on it. let's hear the left hand here. Can you do that when you have to cross? When you have to go over the thumb? No, that's an E. Good. That's the idea. Keep going. Stretch. That's good. Good. Very good. Those will probably be short because of this, what's going on there. All right, good. That's really, really excellent. Let's go from here, right? One more time. Try really, really super legato there. I love mistakes like that. That's good. You're doing fine. You want to keep doing it? Let's keep going from here. Smooth it now. Stop you at all. You're doing a wonderful job here. Can you make more of the diminuendo there? Because it has to get quiet here. Especially in that arpeggio. No, no. Now eventually, I think not now, maybe not yet, but when you feel ready, it's good to add a little touch of pedal. And pedaling Bach is tricky. Can I try it a little bit, if you don't mind? My feet are a little bit bigger than yours. But, nice piano.
Thank you.
So I'm going to do both of those. I'm going to do that sort of holding over to make it legato, but I'm also pedaling each of these eighth notes. more advice to give you other than that, but that's a very important technique to work on. Okay? You're welcome. Manners. My doctor students don't have manners either.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not talking about race. What else are you learning right now, young lady? What do you practice at the piano?
Clementi Sonata.
Okay, very good. How about your technical exercises? What do you practice for technique?
Scales, arpeggios.
Good. You play them all? Play all your scales and arpeggios?
I play them for 5 minutes.
That's more than any of my doctors stood plus. I'm very good. No, I mean, I was wondering if you played them all the major and minor scales. Have you studied them all?
Yeah.
Wow, okay, great. How about Sharon? Did you practice any Sharon?
I used to.
We're about to start again.
I always recommend the 8-measure exercises, and then I try to have them transpose them, because when they're younger, it doesn't seem so hard, but when they get to college, it's resistance. Break them down. I so much enjoyed hearing you play today. Bravo. You're working very hard. You did a great job. Great job. Mr. Bach would be proud. She's great. You have a lot of good pianists out here. Who's next? Who's my next victim today?
Do you mind me recording?
Not at all.
Thank you so much.
Just don't put it on YouTube or
No,
Instagram.
it's just so that I can yell at him later.
Well, you don't have to wait. You can yell at him right now.
You won't believe me. I can show
Oh, okay. And you're playing the Polonaise. And you are? Avi. Okay. Avi, have a seat. Folks, here's Bob. I threw in
Thank you so
the
much.
Busoni edition, which is kind of interesting.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you got those right. James, how are we doing on time? We have plenty of
We're
time?
good.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
good. We're okay. Oh, I guess the one thing I would say is, if you don't mind, maybe to save a little time, I think there's a few repeats if you can remember where they are. Don't skip the repeats.
Do you think after the big B section,
Yeah.
we just kind of cut it there instead?
Okay, that'll save a little bit of time.
Because this is almost exactly the same,
Uh-huh.
except the last 8 measures or so.
Right, okay.
But those last 8 measures.
Yeah, they're very important. it sounds so strange to cut to the end. You play. In the sense that, you know, as a push and pull, clearly it's sort of like a binary personality being pushed in two different directions. And it makes things, you know, kind of hard to make it sound cohesive in a way. I'm not sure it's a difficult piece in that sense. One of the performances I heard that was really knocked me out, a really great performance of this piece by the pianist Samson Francois. And I would say, when you have time, you want to look that up on YouTube and listen to how he plays. He just has a wonderful feeling for this kind of piece because he himself was a kind of lived life to the max, shall we say, and I have a feeling that that's what fueled his effectiveness in playing that. So I would suggest, with that in mind, a very good way to practice this, certainly the opening, is play one character, not both characters. Can you play just a play this here? That's a little bit too. Can you make it a little bit more legato? Actually, what I was just showing by all this, you overhang the fingers a little bit, so it has a spooky and eerie quality, not so clear. Good. Now skip this. Now then play this again. Now, and then. This one, good. So I think it's kind of important that you feel almost like here's this one aspect going on, here's this other aspect going on. That connection here has to do with the impatience of the accelerando, but also the growing dynamic control. So really it's piano, mezzo. Say this is probably more like mezzo piano, mezzo forte even, and then this one is forte. You know, whereas this one doesn't really grow and change so much. This is just sort of like the breaks, you know? So it has to feel more like what's really driving this forward is this connection, not this. You know, it's easy to say. Let's play this as a duet. Can you play that part for me? I mean, it's going to sound horrible. I'm going to play this up here, you know. But go ahead and play that and feel like this is your tempo. Not so fast, not so fast, not so fast. Not so fast, not so fast. Not so fast, not so fast. Okay, if that's the way you say it is. Now, the minute I do that, I realize one thing that you're not doing is feeling the sense of, in terms of the continuity, what's going to help a lot is, that's a tempo. That's the same tempo here. Ya da 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 da. It's not ya da 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 da. Right? It's very important to connect this tempo right here. Ya da 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 da. Now moving forward. Ya da 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 da. Right? So that will help make it connect a little bit more successfully, I think. Let's try once again. You play it both places. Here's the return there. Moving and I very often finger them backwards as opposed to forwards, because then those last 5 notes really want to go right into that G flat there. So that is a C flat. I'm praying and hoping. Yes, that's a C flat. Right. Okay, C flat. Good. So coming down from that. Probably to there. I'm going to just write that in. I don't want you to try it now because it's sort of a master class. I see it's got the T there. It doesn't help things. Is that the same finger you're using? 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I see. Okay, D flat. And then. Okay, so the big problem here is when you ended it. Are you ending it with the 1, 2? Okay, alright, so it is a good fingering. So what has to happen then, what kind of track are we doing here? Is figuring out where's the best place to. Oldest trick in the book, if you put that D and the E before this beat as a kind of pickup. Problem solved. I think that's what's holding you back. Because if I okay, so it's not a matter of the fingering, but you see these first 2 notes, I'm going to use those as a pickup. So your thumb is here with this thing. Spot where I'm running out your fingering, when you have repeated notes and you have to execute them quickly, it's best not to use the same finger on those kind of things because it's just easier to rattle them off that way. I think I saw you doing. See, if I use 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, I think it's going to be much faster for you. Let's try that once. Just the right hand by itself there. And see if that is something that feels good. Right. So you're practicing. Make sure you practice just that gesture by itself. So the repeated notes sort of pull your hand in this direction. And the wrist. And I think I would probably figure this 1, 2, 3, not 2, 1. And then that whole sequence. Yeah, I think that's really going to be a much better fingering for you overall. But work it in slowly. I mean, one of the problems that sometimes students have when you're trying to learn new fingering is they want to do it right away. Oh, that's a good finger. It should work like right away. Like anything else, it takes time to work it in and see how it feels. All right, let's see. So that's that section here. Well, let's hear a little bit of this just again here. One of the things that's bothering me here is just the length of the staccatos. I checked my other edition that I brought here just to double check that because it sounds so curious if it's too short. So bearing in mind that's a quarter note that's staccato and then these are 1/8 notes. So if it's too short, it sounds a little bit flippant. I mean, it's but not right. It sounds like you had a hiccup. It's quite. let's say, put a little tenuto on it. I think that eighth with a tenuto equals a quarter with a staccato.
Yeah.
That's Albert Einstein that wrote that in his treatise. Let's try that once again. Just a little bit longer. That's too short. That's better. Has to do with something that's sort of related to what's going on here at the very, very beginning of the piece. And this is the kind of thing that makes Chopin, I think, kind of difficult to analyze and to really understand. Is his method of composition is not so much architectural and even very logical, the way that maybe Beethoven's is, but he has these connections that are kind of stream of consciousness, these sort of unconscious connections. And there's certainly one going on here. Can I try it for a minute? I'll show you. It's easier to show than to talk about. Okay, now that's fortissimo. And you see there's written this slight diminuendo, which is debatable and so forth. But this I would certainly drop to a kind of a mezzo piano range. And I would do the same thing here. It'll give you a much more stereophonic sort of sense of what's going on, and it makes perfect sense in the context of, it's all about opposing forces.
Yeah.
So if this is all one voice, it has one kind of voluminous sound. Okay, that's kind of exciting. And then maybe there's another brass band down there. That's more of a theatrical kind of feeling to it. You want to try that for me once here? So that's fortissimo, arrival. You can hold it with the pedal, but within that sound. As I just did, a little bit under tempo. Okay, so that means you have to play sforzando here. Really arrive, lift the hands, and then retake it. Trust me, take even more time. Make the trumpets. Different voice. Each one softer. And softer. And rock you. 1, 2, 3. Again, theatrical kind of thinking. Yeah, here's the kind of place where you have to be as aware of the audience out there as you have, about the piano here. because of the kind of gestures you gotta make, you know. Can you take it from maybe right here once again? Okay, so here we, is sort of like the subject matter being that you play the piano with your fingers, but you also play with your arms, and you play the music very much in the air above the piano, which is something my conducting teacher, tried to exhort me to. I was the worst conducting student in the whole class, but he, really convinced me that you have this kind of world in front of you that's not just those piano keys. So let me try that in a little bit, and if you don't mind, just have a sort of look at how much I can fake out the audience with the things that I do, not with my hands, but rather with the arms, with the gestures. What's going to happen now? Everybody's sitting there going, what's that? You've got their attention. Again. Aside in the language of a Liszt or a Chopin means plenty of retard, lots of. You see the fingering that I used there. 1, 1. Oh, I look so pained now, Joanna. Dagger it up. It's all theater. Right? That's kind of theater. You want to draw them in with the silence and the power of silence. Now, I overdid those just to make the point, but if I was really playing it in a concert, let's see. Holding the silence, you're holding the rest within. You want to try that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's fun. That is the fun part of piano playing sometimes. Let's have a look. Yeah, take the line. Yeah, that's good. Hands up in the air. Wait, good. Next. Look at the ceiling. Great. Remember, the release should be staccato, that last one. And hold it up in the air. And short up in the air. And freeze. Very good. Oh, wow. All right, I'll teach how to smoke outside. Smoking and drinking, martini mixing. Okay. That's great. Terrific. Bravo. Bravo. Very good. Don't forget to ask your teacher about the Samson Francois recording. He's got those things. I was kind of stunned. I didn't know he was playing very much, and I had a student who was playing one of the Polonaises. And I said, I know how Rubinstein plays this. I don't know. Who's this guy, Samson Francois? And it's like, oh my God, it's kind of a revelation. We have a Beethoven sonata, yes? Oh, I'm sorry. And you are?
Elliot.
Elliot. Nice to meet you, Elliot. So I'll probably cut you the most, just because good old Amtrak, and this has repeats. You know the so-called story of this, yes? Story, yes indeed. Every piece of music has some kind of story. This one has 2 movements, yes? Yes, and it's rather significant that Beethoven writes here in German, Lebhaftigkeit und durchaus mit Empfindung und Ausdruck, which sounds like a recipe for taking over countries of Western Europe or something, but it's with vivacity, with liveliness, and all throughout with feeling and sensitivity. And of course, it's in the minor key, and a rather strange kind of little piece, alluding to troubles and so forth. And then all is resolved in this nicht geschwind und sehr singbar Vorgeschrei, always singing, and into the major key and very harmonious. So it's a representative of what's going on with the dedicative. It's interesting that sometimes we have clues in Beethoven sonatas in little things like little numbers or dedications, or like the Opus 110 sonata, the date of completion, which happens to be Christmas Day, and there's all kinds of meaning behind that. So this is dedicated to his friend, the Prince Lichnowsky, and it was a wedding present. Basically, he gave this to him as a wedding present. So Beethoven, who had not so many good manners, wrote this first movement. I think the first movement is sort of an indication of, your life has been kind of cruddy as a single guy, you've had a lot of problems over it, and now in the second movement, okay, now you've done the right thing, you're going to have a nice singing, happy life now. All weddings and all marriages end up exactly like that, as we all know, right? Right, exactly. Anyway, so to say, put the rack down, and we'll hear the first movement, at least maybe the expo and development, and then the last movement as well. Okay.
He's only doing the first movement.
Oh, you're just doing the first one. You're not doing the second one. Oh, so you just experience all the bad parts of the singing without
work in progress.
All right. Well, maybe after you play this in a bar somewhere, some woman will come up and buy you a drink, and then you'll have experienced the happiness of the song. How about we just stick to music? Let's Now we're going to the G, sol, sol, do, do, sol, the octave. Start on that. Sol, sol. That's right. Sorry, I shouldn't have stopped you. Sorry. Sol, do.
Oh my God.
No, it happens. I've never done anything like that my whole life. Stuff happens. That's right.
Sure.
Beautiful. Wow. Very good. Very good. And of course, when you turn the page, you go into the next movement. Well, you know, he turns it upside down. Sol, fa, mi, re, fa, sol. So the G natural becomes a G sharp. You know, it really goes out of its way to show you that, you know, major to minor sort of contrast. I don't have a lot to tell you. I think the tempo is very, very good, and the characters also very, very good. I think you have a very good sense of Beethoven's style. So that's the most important thing going on. Now, there's a couple of technical things that I would suggest. Now, the most urgent, I think, is here with the pedaling here, in this section here. Let me hear the left hand with no pedal here, just this little spot here. No, just the left hand.
Little spot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of those tricky things. On the page, it looks like it's, you know, really fearsome. But in your slower practicing particularly, try to affect the best stretch that you have. You probably have a much better stretch than you even really imagine. Can you do this for me? Do this with your hands and do a little bit of stretching here. This muscle here is the one muscle of the hand that really, actually, really can be stretched. And I've had pupils, particularly in Asia, my goodness, they can make that a straight line, you know, and it's kind of amazing. But just not strongly so or anything like that, just sort of gently so. I learned this especially when I had a boring music history class and I would sit in the front row and it would look like I was so intelligent and like that. But the gentle stretch is very helpful in a spot like that because you have to be in this kind of splayed out position. But it has to feel kind of relaxed, right? If you're keeping your hand a little bit more like this, it's going to feel like it's very tough to play. But the larger this is here, so I guess it has to be the third finger. And I would certainly also suggest this exercise, playing the fifth finger and then the 1, 3 together, sort of pivoting on that third finger. You might want to do a little walking exercise here, because what needs to happen is a lot less motion in the left hand. The less motion you have there, you shouldn't be doing a lot of articulation, just easily shifting the hand over those 3 positions. Yeah, and try not to make a jump out of it, actually stretch that. I'm sure you can play that without, right? Right, so one of the tricks is not to shrink the hand in between those things. That makes it hard. If you keep the hand stretched out, you can get all those notes pretty easily. Try it once, just keeping the hand very stretched out. I would probably recommend not using the fourth finger in that passage either. I would recommend using 3, 3, 3 all the way through. So keep your hand stretched out. Try this. Good. Yeah, and try that, kind of like some slow practicing with that, for a little bit. I think that's more the problem maybe than the pedaling, because it was just sort of over pedaled. So I think that was distracting you enough that you weren't really listening to what you were doing with the pedal. So the pedal is a very common mistake that piano students make. They tend to ride the pedal. It's a little bit like my grandfather used to drive his car like that too. He gets so sick when he was driving, just lurching back and forth. But the thing about the pedal is, after pressing it, when you change that pedal, you really have to come off. So right now what you're doing is you're sort of riding the pedal through that section. So I think you weren't well enough aware. It really needs a little bit more lift to change here, here, and here. Really three changes. Play it for me slowly now, using the pedal, 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 pedal. Lift, lift, lift. Pedal. Good. Yeah, let me play the right hand with you. Same tempo, all right? 2 and 3 and. But if you become really preoccupied, I'm doing that, you tend to forget about what you're doing with that pedal. So that's the same section in the recap. This is the most important technical thing you have to do. Then he has this effect here, and I want to show you something. Sometimes I physically demonstrate with students, but now we have contracts telling us not to do that. Let me do it. So you want a very otherworldly sound, So if you think about the logic of this, when you want a strong integrated singing tone, we tend to push our body into the keyboard and let our wrists and arms drop. Let the gravity help us with the fullness of sound. So the opposite is just as true. When we want an otherworldly sound, it's not very focused. Use gravity the other way. Let your body fall backwards. I actually, in some of these spots, when I want a really quiet sound, I'll go as far back as I possibly can. Now you see I'm not even using my fingers very much. This is kind of an arm thing. Now the opposite, right? Here I've got to do. But I want you to try that for me once. Actually, just play from here, and then in the rest interval there, you can pull your body back. Sound. I'm going to assist you here. There we go. Don't worry. I've never dropped anybody yet. That's good. Okay, so the point being, you see how easy it is to get the very soft sound when you do that, all right? So none of these small joints are involved. Try it yourself now without my help there. That's the idea. Good. Now into the keyboard. Good. Excellent. That's very, very much the point. Very, very good. That's a rather important thing. All right. And then, of course, boy, that's a pain in the butt, isn't it? Beethoven will put these things in his sonatas where it's just like he's sort of having a bad day. Well, like me today. Right? I'm going to take this out on generations of pianos. It's such a hard thing to play because, of course, the right hand is playing all those notes, and the melody is here. I see you've written down some groupings here, which is very, very good. How do you practice this particular section?
With the passive work specifically?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I mean, I assume you do it sort of with a metronome from time to time, you know,
Yeah.
evenness and so forth.
Metronome, and I practice what is the fourth position really.
Right, it's very, very positional sort of stuff. Some of the practices you need to do there would try to make it very, very muscle memory, the kind of stuff. This is one that I like to do, is stopping on downbeats. Sorry, I can't do it in this position. And stopping on second beats. Third beats. And fourth beats. Sorry for the coffee. These are very good ways to reinforce where the fingers are playing at any particularly given time. Okay. All right. Don't do that now because that takes time. That's a time-consuming kind of way to practice. All right. I thought there was one or two other small things I wanted to say. Oh, yes. There's not a lot of these, but where we do have those bass octaves, da ba 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 dee da da. Right. Is that towards the end of the section?
Or in the recap.
Right, okay, here. So these kind of things, you know, you want it to be very, very directed kind of sound, a strong sort of sound, but be very careful to really voice the octaves. That is, bring out the thumb much more than the fifth finger. So we really hear that, because if we don't do that, we tend to sound just sort of heavy and lowy. I always practice these things also with just the thumb alone. Can you do that for me? Here, just play this with the thumb alone. Right. I think you can relax the wrist more. Playing this. Great. One of the benefits of practicing any of your octave passages just with the thumbs alone, because that's the directional thing, is it enables you to, instead of stretching the hand, you know, which causes just that little bit of tension in there, the hand can be very, very relaxed when you practice just with the thumbs alone. And there it really needs to voice it in that way. And especially when it goes down here. That's where you really are wrong. That's not a good sound. It's kind of like the voice. Try that with the left hand. Try the thumb alone first. One more time. Now add the fifth finger. Still a little heavy in the bass there. Once again. That's better. That's better. That's key voice. And then do this one as well. Good. That's very, very good. Yes, that's an important point. All right, so the change of pedal is important. The voicing of the octave is important. Technical practice here and bringing out the melody, that's important. What have I left out?
Was my counting okay?
Your counting is very okay. Your counting is excellent. In fact, I would say everybody I heard today had very, very good control of rhythm and very good sense of style and tempo. It was some good piano teaching going on here. I can call the police about that. I'm going to call MAGA on you. I'm going to call ICE on you. Good piano
Find my
teaching.
sisters.
Yeah. So Elia, are you preparing for college auditions, or you look like you are about of that vintage to be doing
Yes.
that? Maybe we'll have 3 minutes.
Yeah, just so you know.
Oh, okay, I did that perfectly. Okay. I feel so terrible because I was looking forward to this all day, and I really regret I didn't get the later train. You know, when I bought those when I got those tickets, I should have just gotten I should have assumed the Amtrak came around on time. I'm so happy. I'm so impressed. All the students play so well. This is an excellent bunch of students. How many students are you teaching here?
26 or so.
Oh my God.
25. I downsized slightly, but some of these guys are here pretty frequently.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah.
How do you keep your sanity with that many students? That's a lot of
We'll have to
teaching.
pay the bills.
That covers a lot of ground. And
But
you
they're all
know-
good kids, so it makes it a lot easier.
And we're all very, very proud of her at Temple. My goodness, she played a wonderful concerto, and her paper is like the best I've ever read.
She worked very hard.
Yeah, don't grit your teeth. It's gonna be fine.
Will it be okay? Will it be okay?
It will be okay.
I'll
so
be over
worried.
soon.
Are you really?
Of course.
I've sat on those defenses, and only one of them went really, really badly.
Mind if we take a group photo?
Oh,
together?
of course not.
All
That's
the
a great
kids?
idea. Let's do that quickly.